the middle of the breathtaking landscape of Aberdares National Park lies a heated debate over the proposed Mombasa Road. The ambitious project aims to connect Nyeri and Nyandarua counties in a bid to connect the two regions. Those living in Ihithe area, Nyeri County, and Ndunyunjeru area in Nyandarua County, the prospect of a direct link brings excitement and economic opportunities. They say this will be a game changer. The road provides them with a beacon of hope, a gateway to progress and economic development. Proponents of the project argue that it will serve as a vital lifeline, facilitating easy access to markets, healthcare, and education for residents of both counties.
This road has so many socio-economic benefits. It's going to increase trade and industry within the two counties, Nyeri and also Nyandarua County. It's going to increase the social activities, the dowries, the intermarriage. It's also going to shorten the distance between Nyeri and Naivasha. Going through all the way to Nyahururu, it is going to shorten the distance by half of the distance.
Economically, we know in Nyandarua chakula inaozea kwa shamba, na tunajua hii barabara ikifunguka tutakuwa tunapata soko, watakuwa wanapata soko pande hii ya Teto. Na pia sisi tuko na majani chai, we have avocado farming going on, we have livestock, and we know we are going to have ready market on the other side.
Residents of Ihithe, the point at which the proposed road starts in Nyeri County, say this is the only opportunity to open up Tetu constituency, which they say is landlocked. Tetu is yet to have a banking institution nor a major petrol station.
That means Ihithe will be a major shopping center. You'll see the upcoming of hospitals, the banks. Tetu, we don't have a single bank. So by the opening of this Ihithe Donyojero Road, Tetu will see the first bank. And we also don't have a major petrol station. So the opening of this Ihithe Donyojero Road, we will see the urbanization of Tetu County, Tetu constituency. And in fact, now the Ihithe Donyojero, together with now the Marwa Keno during, Nyeri will become a major commercial and financial hub for the region.
Tetu has been one of the landlocked constituencies around. There has been no ile development unaweza sema tangible. Unasikia Tetu ndio inasemwa haina benki, we don't have a petrol station, we don't have those other amenities, and we know by the construction of this road, Tetu open up economically and socially, because people are going to interact. Nyandarua County and Nyeri County, intermarriages, such social events will be happening on a daily basis.
And to some, like Peterson Mwaura from Ndunyunjeru, the proposed road would allow easy transfer of farm produce between the two counties and open investment and other trade opportunities.
Nataka tutengeneze ibara kutoka Ihithe uwekeo rami baka Donyo, ndio Donyo ifunguke. Kwanza chakula itakuwa inatoka Nyeri inakuja baka hapa Donyo. Kwa hivyo sisi tutasaidika hiyo barabara ikifunguliwa. Msijali mambo ya wanyama. Hakuna pahali tunagusa wanyama hapo. Ni barabara tu tutapitia ka barabara. Kwa hivyo hakuna kitu tutakata miti ama nini ama kuharibu wanyama, tunakuja baka hapa Donyo. Kutoka Ihithe baka Donyo. Alafu hii barabara itengenezwe kutoka hapa Donyo baka Wajohi. Ishikane na hiyo ingine ya Karau.
Kutoka Remuru, hawa watu wote kwenda Naivasha, Narok, kupitia hivyo mpaka Nakuru. Kwenda Nyeri watatumia hii barabara. Hawezi tumia ile ya Nyahururu au ya Nairobi, ndio mfupi kwenda mpaka Nyeri. Mara ya pili chakula ya Nyeri inaletagwa hapa. Kuingia hapa inakuwa ya bei kubwa sana. Inapitia Nyahururu, inakuja Naivasha, inakuja Donyojero. Hiyo ni distance kubwa sana. Kwa hivyo expenses unaona iko juu sana. Kwa hivyo kununua inakuwa shida kwetu. Kwa vile pesa itakuwa kuu. Na hii njia ikifunguliwa, chakula kutolewa hapa kuletwa hapa Donyojero ni 1 hour. Kwa hivyo hata ukiuziwa utauziwa bei ya chini, wewe utakula ile kitu inatakikana kwa mwili. Matunda, doma, hiyo chakula ya Kikuyu hilo inakomaa huko. Hapa hakuna, hapa tuni viazi, carrots, madharu na mboga. Unaona? Kwa hivyo hata watu hapa hakuna nguvu.
However, for a section of residents in Nyandarua County, particularly areas like Shamata, Kariamu and Karai, the road passing through the national park would have fewer economic benefits.
Tunahitaji barabara. Hata hii tunaita ya Maumau haiwezi saidia sisi kwa sababu itapitia huko kwa wanyama. Tunataka hii inapitia kwa watu. Tunauza kitu hapa kwa hii Karae, Shamata, pia Mombasa Road, na hii hapa tuna viazi, tuna chakula mingi aina yote, maziwa yote. Sasa sisi tunataka usaidizi.
Hii barabara ikipita kichaka hakuna venye tutasaidika, lakini unaona ikitupitia hapa karibu tutaweza kupeleka mazao yetu, so kichaka hakuna kitu tunalima kule. So hata utapata hatuna access ya huko juu hakuna time tutaenda huko.
It is in their view that the government considers an alternative route, arguing that it will connect more people to the tarmac than when it passes through the park.
Hiyo njia kama inaweza funguliwa ishikanishe kutoka Yeterero mpaka huko naitwa ukienda huko Karau, hiyo njia inaweza fungua upande wa Daragwa sana ama upande wa Shamata, sababu hiyo ndio barabara ile inaweza kutusaidia. Hiyo mnafikiria inaudo huko upande wa kwa msitu huko ndani wetu hiwezi kutusaidia, sababu maendeleo yote inaweza leta ni hii barabara. Kwa hivyo sisi tunaweza omba serikali yetu na wale wanaweza fikiria sisi mzuri hii barabara ifunguliwe na itengenezwe, sababu hiyo ndio inaweza sikanisha watu na ipanue maendeleo kwa wingi. Hii njia inasikanisha watu wengi sana. Iko na population kubwa.
Even as the residents of Ndunyunjeru want the road, they are quick to appreciate the key role that the Aberdares play in the water catchment.
Hii maji tunatoka Aberdare. Maji yote tunakunywa hapa inatoka kwa ile mlima. Inakuja na pipe back hapa Donyo. Watu wanaifosha wanatumia hiyo mlima pia. Maji inatoka. Watu wa Murugaru pia wanatumia hiyo mlima. Wote maji iko pale. Kizima iko pale Aberdares. Hii mlima ya geta hiyo. Jabini, Naifosha, Murugaru, wote wanakunywa maji ya kutoka huko.
Kwa hivyo Aberdares hii mlima ni ya muhimu pia.
Hii ni ya muhimu.
The Aberdares is one of the 5 water towers in the country, supplying water to major towns like Naivasha. Some of the rivers flowing from the Aberdares include Tana and Athi, which flow to the Indian Ocean, Ewasonyiro, which flows to the Lorian Swamp, and River Malewa, whose water flows to Lake Naivasha. Other water towers in the country include Mount Kenya, the Mau Forest Complex, Cherangani Hills, and Mount Elgon. However, amid the chorus of optimism, dissenting voices have risen from conservationists. They say such a project will tamper with the ecology of the area. They say the area's ecosystem that comprises of thousands of species of wildlife will suffer.
We have seen the impact that the construction of the road and particularly the SGR had on the national park, right? We cannot fool ourselves to think that we can minimize the impact there. You have a dual carriage highway with really well tarmacked. We're going to see some real impacts. We see that across anywhere where we have the national parks, and we have roads that are adjacent to national parks, roads that are going through national parks. They will see that. So I think what it is community members do need to be provided with the full information.
This road is actually passing into the heart of the park. And if it is to be widened or even repaired, I think we're going to damage the park. If it is widened into a highway which people use, I can't see how this will work. How do you police a road passing in the middle of a water tower, a water catchment area, and a water catchment that is going to supply water and livelihood for millions of Kenyans, and you want to put a road which will allow the marketing of vegetables of a few thousand Kenyans? It just doesn't make sense. The math is wrong.
They warn that allowing the road through the national park would expose wildlife to the dangers of poaching and hunting. The Aberdares ecosystem is home to over 3,600 elephants, 290 bird species, indigenous trees like the East African rosewood and the red cedar.
The impact of the construction of the proposed road within the Aberdares ecosystem will be huge. I think we cannot understate the devastation that could proceed, both from the immediate construction of the road and potentially the impacts afterwards. The vegetation that will be impacted includes vast areas of bamboo ecosystem, bamboo plantations. There is also the moorlands, which is really unique to us in Kenya. I think there are only 2 mountain regions in Kenya that have these really unique moorland areas, and the Aberdares is one of them. And the third is these really old growth indigenous trees, including the East African rosewood and the red cedar, which itself is actually an endangered species.
Dr. Neil Agarwal, an environmentalist and a frequent visitor to the park, says the relevant government agencies will not manage to police the operations in the park once a public road cuts through it.
One of the things is there's going to be the disruption of what has so far been very quiet. Nobody disturbing it, elephants walking past up and down, and actually alpine moorland, which we don't have much of. The Aberdares is one place, Mount Kenya may be another, but that's it. And the danger of this road is, what speeds are people going to do through a national park? Who's going to police? I agree, people are going to ship their vegetables from this side to the other side, fine. But who's going to police those who are not shipping vegetables but are out to do something else? Like cut down trees, poach wildlife, that sort of thing. Those are the dangers I see.
73 years old Jamle Kigishuki is the former and the longest serving chair of the Geta Community Forest Association. He is pained by the prospects of a road passing through the park.
Hatupigi barabara, lakini ni nani atakontrol hiyo muda yote kutoka hapa mpaka Nyeri? Ni nani atakontrol wale watakuwa msituni? Ni distraction gani? Tunasema tunataka miti mingi. Sasa tunasema tuikate. Ndio barabara kama iko na kona inyoroswe. So ni nani atakontrol? Hata kama itatusaidia. Itatusaidia kama vile wanyama wanatusaidia. Itatusaidia kama vile mito inatusaidia. So watu yote wafikirie kabla ya kusema barabara. Mimi sipigi barabara. Lakini ni nani anatetea wanyama wetu? Kwa sababu sasa kila mtu amefunguliwa kuingia msituni kuida wanyama. Kila mtu amefunguliwa msituni kutafuta ile miti ya kienyeji, ile ya zamani, red cedar. So mlango umefunguliwa. Hakuna mtu anatetea. Hakuna mtu anatetea mito yetu. Na mnajua hii Aberdare ndio the source of recreation.
He also warns of a possible rise in cases of poaching.
Wacha niongee, na nilisema tangu tuanze. Nikamwambia kuna mashida mingi itaweza patikana hii barabara ikikuwa open. Kwa sababu sisi ndio tunaendaga huko kupoesha moto. Na ni watu wengine hata wametoka bari, wametoka Ijinia, Donyo na hata wa hapa kwetu. So hii ikifunguliwa, kwa sababu it's open for everybody. Sahi Adam akikutana na mtu pale, ama Forest akikutana na mtu pale Dan, ni lazima amuulize umetoka wapi na umeenda wapi. Wakati barabara hii itafunguliwa, haitakuwa maswali. Itakuwa open for everybody. Wewe hata ukienda wewe ukikasirika ama ukuwe na mambo yako, uende kushoma, unapanda tu. Hakuna mtu anakuuliza, unaenda unashoma. Ukitaka kwenda kuwinda ndovu, unapanda, unawinda. Ukikata kufanya anything, so itakuwa na madhara mingi. Hii mnaiona tu na watu wanasema barabara tu, lakini watakuja kujionea maneno.
To address these challenges, conservationists have proposed an alternative route, charting a path that diverges from the Nyeri-Nyahururu highway at Gieterero, meandering through Shamata and Kariamu before converging at Ndunyunjeru. Advocates of this alternative trajectory argue that it offers a more sustainable solution, minimizing the ecological footprint while still achieving the desired connectivity between the two counties.
That is a real potential road that may be a little bit shorter. I think it's about 5 kilometers shorter than this proposed route, but it actually serves community members all along the route. It is a vibrant community where individuals, you've got multiple homesteads, you've got little shopping stands and little town centers that exist along the road, all from one end to the other end from one county to the other. That is actually a viable road that exists. And we ask NEMA, why wasn't that road considered? Why wasn't it considered as a potential road to build out?
So the alternative road cost about 3.6 billion shillings, which is actually cheaper than utilizing taxpayers' money, 4.6 on the upgrade of a road through Aberdares. And it also gives more benefits to communities, particularly in terms of trade, movement, services, mushrooming of towns, ensuring that goods are moving. So we find that road a little bit much more better, even for tourism activities, connecting Rumuruti and other places.
Alternative is to pass through the side here. I mean, isn't a national park sacrosanct? Don't we all agree as Kenyans that we don't disturb our national parks? We never go cutting down a park. We pass around it. I couldn't understand why the SGR was allowed to go through Nairobi National Park when there were so many ways to go around the park. So here, we're doing it again. And in a few years, we are going to regret when the water stops coming and we are all complaining like South Africa of load shedding 6 hours a day. Those are the dangers.
They are also accusing the National Environmental Management Authority, NEMA, for inconsistency in handling the matter. Just last year, NEMA rejected approval of the said project, citing grave concerns about its potential harm to the Aberdare ecosystem. However, in a surprising turn of events, NEMA has now granted unconditional approval to the project.
We are part of the stakeholder community that's asking the questions to NEMA. What happened? What's the reason? Because a year ago, this was a bad idea. 5 years ago, it was still a bad idea. What happened? What could have changed the minds of our colleagues, our esteemed colleagues in NEMA, that has led to the approval of a license to build this road? We would argue that not only have we not been able to satisfy the requirements of public participation and informing the citizenry in order to include their comments, their thoughts, their opinions before a license is granted. Not only do we believe that that wasn't done, we also have not received any reason from NEMA, because the ESIA has not changed. It's exactly the same ESIA. And why is it that now we think this road is a good idea? We ask that question. We really hope to be able to receive an answer.
We are not against the road. We are for the road, except that it has to be sustainable and viable for the benefit of the people.
In the Environmental and Social Impact Assessment Report prepared by Norken International Limited, a firm registered with NEMA to undertake the environmental and social impact assessment for the proposed projects, NEMA says, based on the assessment undertaken for the proposed project, it is unlikely that the project will have significant adverse environmental and social impacts. Most adverse effects will be temporary during the construction phase and can be managed to acceptable levels with the implementation of the recommended mitigation measures in the Environmental and Social Monitoring Plan (ESMP). According to NEMA, there are two alternative routes, but the one proposed by the conservationist is not listed as an alternative. The first alternative route is Ndunyunjeru through Al-Kalau, Nyahururu, Ndaragwa, Ihururu, and then Nyeri town, which is 190 kilometers. The second alternative given by NEMA is Ndunyunjeru, Njambine, Githuma, Odhaya, and then Nyeri town, which is 155 kilometers. while proponents argue that the Mombasa Road will foster economic development and ease movement between the two counties. Opponents stress the importance of prioritizing environmental preservation and exploring less disruptive alternatives. As the debate rages on, stakeholders await further deliberation and hope for a resolution that balances the needs of development with the imperative of conservation. This is one of the entry points to Aberdares National Park. The proposed Mombasa Road is supposed to pass here, cutting 35 kilometers through the park and the National Forest Reserve. Well, while some of the residents are in support of the idea of the construction of the road, on the other hand, conservationists are concerned with the extent of damage caused by the construction of the road and the road itself to the Aberdares ecosystem. Clement Masombo, KTN News, Aberdares National Park.